G'day everybody, it's Max and welcome back to InfraSpace Cube. That's right, and in today's episode, well, we got a rest of the row to fill out. Of course, we had the next row ready to go. We took one cube to do an experiment on, and through that experiment, we were able to push that one cube a little extra hard, and then I went back through the other cubes and added more buildings to them to get us to 60,000. Now, in this case, we still have 3 cubes on that row to do. So we're going to wrap that one up today. We're going to get them up and running, and I don't know if we'll get to 70,000 or not, but we're going to try as hard as we can, so let's get to it. 60, 60, 60, do I hear 70, 70, 70, 70, 70? Hey everybody, it's Max, and welcome back in, you betcha. So here's our 23 cubes. Are we going to get 70 today? I don't know, it's going to be pretty close. I mean, we're at 60,000. I don't know. I think it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight, right? I mean, we have 2 full cubes that will push about 5,500. But yeah, like that third cube is looking pretty lopsided, right? It's hard to say. But anyway, we gotta get started somewhere. So let's have a look at getting started somewhere. Whoa, what's going on back here? Well, I'm in the middle of moving all the steel and the concrete. Yeah, that's a thing. Because we need the space, people. We need space. It's just a thing. We got to have more room, and I can't keep working on cubes if this stuff is in the way. So what we're doing, of course, is we're moving this stuff around to not be in the way, which of course would be really nice. So we've now moved concrete and steel up here into the upper left hand. Well, I don't know if it's left or right. I guess if I was to start back and look from number 1, this would be the upper right-hand corner. So we've got it along the right-hand edge, and that's what we're going to do with that. Now, I do got to give these guys a little sulfur for the meantime. So, yep, we got to get this road hooked in here, make sure they have a little sulfur action going on. Yep, come on, over this way. And we're going to make them share a road with this sulfur. It's not ideal, but it does save me a little headache because this, like most of the hills in this game that are crazy builds, the only way you can get up this hill, of course, is to do some quirky zigzag method, and then of course the iron can go over to the left, and of course the sulfur can drive in here on the right, and that should hopefully keep everybody happy for the time being, because I am running a little lower on concrete. So I'm always a little worried, but what have we been busy doing? We've been busy building stuff. So of course, as you can see, we've got 3 cubes ready to go. We've got more factories. In fact, we're running out of space for all this stuff. Now, why? Well, that was very interesting of me. Why did I put those in? Let's just fix that, because that's not the right building you wanted, Max. These are the buildings you wanted. There you go. Look at that. See, now everybody can have some stuff. But you're not getting. Why are you not getting chips? You should have. There's all kinds of chips here. Yeah, hurry up, guys. Deliver that stuff down to these guys. Holy smokes, we got things going on. Anyway, 8 more robotics factories ready to go, right? At the very end of the last episode, we have, I believe, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more VR educations, so we're going to need a couple more of those, that's for sure. And actually, that's 9 robotics factories, not 8. That's my bad on the count. And of course, we're putting in currently. We got some of these were built from the last episode, but we got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is going to be 10. Now, that's because we've got enough room here, as you can see, for probably 7-ish cubes. Okay, so we got 3 there, we've got 3 here, and it looks like I'm be able to put in 2 half cubes. I'll be able to put in a half cube for 7 cubes. So why do I keep going? Well, because just because we're going to run out of cubage doesn't mean we stop at the population. It just means it gets really hard. Is what it means. Of course, we're going to try. I think we're going to try and put a mini cube up here in this little space. Not to say it's going to be successful or not, but I think that's what we're going to try. That or, well, I think we'll try to put a mini cube up there. And at the same time, we're going to have to put in a couple of VR education centers in somewhere. And, I mean, all this stuff has to go in. It all has to fit. It all has to fit. It all has to work. So we've got some work to do, and I'm going to keep working it out. I'm going to get the rest of these drawn out. I got to get all the piping in for this stuff. So let me carry on with that, and we'll carry on with the cleanup here as well, because this all has to go, people. I mean, you know, we want more persons, more persons, and hopefully when I bring you back, I'll have a more detailed idea about at least trying to fill in the rest of this space, and how it is, what the next plan after that's going to be, because obviously things, right? I mean, we want to be able to keep going. You know, like this will only get us to about, that next row will only get us to about, let's say, 68 and change. So the next row, so like, you know, you would get 71 and then like 76. We might get to 80 in the cubage, and then maybe some other stuff here. So let me bring it back to show you what I come up with anyway, and then what the future plan is once we run out of room to make actual big cubes. Well, it looks like I've been a little busy, and all the cubes, our cubes here have the requirements for oxygen and water and the foods and the things. The only thing they're missing, of course, is the fancy foods. I tend to put the fancy foods in a little later anyway, as the city kind of builds up. It gives me something to do while, you know, time passes to let the city blocks grow into themselves. Now, obviously, I've got, as you can see here, I've got 2 rows of cubes done. But we're probably not going to do that other row today, just because speed. I mean, I have the game paused so as I can move around, right? I mean, things are pretty laggy. But I have a surprise. You bet I do. So let me do this. We'll back up a little more. Oh, yes. We have more cubage everywhere. You betcha. We have another mini cube up on the hill, which is now number 21. You know it. And we're going to fill that one in today as well. And we have 4 half cubes. Yeah, there we go. Which we're going to try and slam in on the next one. So we're going to try and do this row here with the mini cube of 21 now up on the hill. Obviously, that is the number it's going to take. I've renumbered the other twos, 22 and 23, and of course I'll renumber these as we get them filled in today as well. I'm hoping that we'll get close to 70,000, and then of course next episode should be pretty crazy. I mean, whew, let me tell you, it's crazy all around. And of course, then we'll get this filled in. So, you know, we're looking at close to 12,000 people here. So that should push us closer and closer to the 85,000 goal. And then after that, I don't know. I'm pulling my hair out, I guess. But it is basically now it's just around fiddling with the food and a little bit of extra. So, of course, I believe these guys have enough oxygen already, so I'm not going to dilute their holdings with that. What I am going to do, though, is we're going to try and squeeze in a little bit of this food all over the place. And that just makes things easier, right? You know, dude, yeah, there we go. No, that way, thank you. By putting in food all over the place, I mean, obviously these guys are going to have to deliver it in town. But once the cities kind of get up and running anyway, then they don't need the simple meals as much. So it's not usually such a big deal anyway. right? So I'm going to try 15 of that. I've tried to keep everything else inside the cubes. These mini cubes, I'll probably be doing the same kind of thing. Well, I'll try to maybe like run the stuff outside so we can get as much housing on the inside as we can. And with that, we should try at least get a little housing started here on the mini cube. Now, this mini cube, boy, am I ever taking a risk with this thing. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be a risk. And the reason is because this cube is actually going to borrow a lot of stuff, and I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm hoping it will not blow up, but we're about to find out. Let's see. We'll do it. Maybe we'll do it by thirds. Yeesh. So just to kind of give you the 411 on this. So we're actually gonna. So of course the these two mini cubes. And these two cubes down here, these two main cubes, are being fed by this row here of robotics factories, home robots, and we're gonna hope that it has enough spares to do one more. I know that's pretty iffy. Same with the home appliances and computer factories. Yeah. That too is a thing. We're gonna try and get this one to survive all on its own by by gobbling up some of the extra resources, and I don't know if it's gonna pull it off or not. That being said, of course we're gonna try, because that's a thing I do. And so I've hit the play button. We're gonna hit the play things. I'll bring it back, of course, once we kind of get a little bit into it, to just see how it goes. I really do hope it goes well. It would be nice. It would be nice if it went well, just because, I don't want to collapse the rest of the city, and I do want this population to grow. So we're going to cross the little fingers and toes, hope it goes all well, and, of course, I'm going to bring you back to show you how it turns out. So Minicube 21 seems to be doing okay so far. Fingers crossed, of course. In fact, I was just looking at the robotics factories for it, and we still have robots in the factories. They have not totally emptied out. Yes, there are 4 factories now supplying 3 mini cubes and 2 full cubes. So it's it should do okay. And yeah, the first 2 factories are running a little low on supplies, but there are 2 other factories according to this, and they're doing just fine. And I was just going to go over here and have a look at the computer factories and such, and we're going through this. Of course, is the very first row closest to them, so these I would expect to be all emptied out, no problem. Yeah, so these are all blanked. Well, there's actually 2 there that have 14 and 12 in them. Yeah, and these have lots in them. I mean, look at the amount of computers and home appliances up here. I mean, they're not even, well, okay, there's a few emptied out, but they're not even, it's not even scratching the surface. In fact, again, I think the issue is going to be around VR. I probably have enough I have enough supplies besides VR on this map. I can probably start sneaking in. And that's what's probably going to end up happening. We're going to probably end up having to sneak in a few mini cubes all over the place here, right? And when we do, we're probably going to have to just start borrowing from a lot of these. Now, the big question becomes around VR, because VR is a little squeaky, right? I mean, it is the one that is the closest to having any issues. These 3 here are providing them cubes, so not you, but you, and yeah, you, and you. So we got 3 in the holding there, 0 there, and 0 there. I am very concerned around this, and I mean, I do have some VR here tucked in the back that I can always borrow from, right? Like I can always grab a factory here and stick that in. And that's fine, except that I really don't want to have to do that if I don't need to. So we're gonna see. I mean, we're gonna see if it keeps up because I mean, these are now emptied, right? And so it is gonna be a bit close. I will have to say it's a bit close. Oh, gee, Max, what do you get yourself into sometimes? I don't know. Now, I mean, what we can always do is this is going to be the farthest back factory of these 4 going to the next row of cubes. So I could always take these guys and say, hey, guess what, guys? You're a very unique factory. You can do a highway bi-split. I know, we can do this. And this might make me feel a little better, too, to be honest. Yep. That way, this guy can now contribute some to that as well, and I think that actually might make me feel a little better. Okay, so of course we're going to keep an eye on this little mini cube up here. Like I said, we are pushing. I mean, we had 3 factories basically doing 3.5 cubes, and that's really and basically now doing closer to 4 cubes, and that's pretty pushing it for those VR education. And meanwhile, yeah, the next row is starting to fill out. Of course, we're gonna, hey, we're gonna push ahead, right? You know, I mean, Minikube up here is doing fine. We've hooked in the necessary components. You can see the highways are always busy when we do this, right? Always makes me a little nervous when they do this stuff, but I mean, it is what it is. We're not gonna worry about it too much. You guys want to go straight? No, I didn't want you. Don't take that out. He needs that stuff. But feel free to go straight on that one, guys. Just in case, like, you guys need like a little help here. You know, I realize there's a little cross traffic, but I know there's not that much cross traffic. And the thing is I have to be very careful now because I'm not actually. This is one of them rare opportunities where I'm actually looking at the city. I don't usually look at the city while I'm running it because it's just too slow. Like if I were to keep looking at this, I mean, it would take me like 2 days just to get in to get a quarter of the city filled in. It's just way too slow to do it that way. So what I have to usually do is I usually just go park in a corner somewhere, and I'm not liking this little maneuver. Listen, guys, you guys can figure out that you can like move up and around if you need to go around this guy. Yeah, I don't know why they give us these mega highways when the cars don't use them right anyway. But that again, that's not an InfraCity thing. That's a game. That's a city game building mechanic that none of the games get right. It's a little embarrassing, actually. But nevertheless, okay, I'm babbling a lot, but I can't stare at a lot of this, so I usually just go park myself in a corner and stare at the sand. Because so I'll just do this, and I realize this is really boring for people. You know, but it allows the game to run faster because, hey, I'm staring at blank sand. It's perfectly fine. So I'm going to bring you back. Now, of course, when we're engaging any major part of the city and trying to expand in a large way, there's always a lot of traffic. And so I have had to take some painful moments to actually stay running while fixing the traffic woes. Of course, one of the major issues was, again, the game is not very good at lane selection. So if we come all the way down here, it's running really good now. But all the way down here, you can see we still have some traffic backup going on. But basically what was happening was these 2 lanes were merging, and of course the lines were all wrong, and of course they were jammed up everywhere. It was a mess. Now, this does look messy, but that is because we have double sets of factories that had to both share this lane. Now, to fix this out temporarily, I could probably do this little maneuver here where we do a little bit of upgrading, I think. Just kind of do this for a bit. Kind of get it down the road a little ways. And then, yeah, let's do this. And yeah, in fact, I kind of like that kind of hook in there. That looks good, and yeah, that actually looks good. That's exactly what we want for once. Gee, game, like, why couldn't you do that any other time? That would be great. So this should now move this line a lot faster, and because this lane now has very little traffic coming out of it, again, once the initial impacts of an upgrade to the city happen, it's not so bad, right? Like everything kind of pans out and evens out. So we just have to deal with this initial rush, and this is why I don't bring entire cubes online, because the traffic flow would be just so horrendous that the cubes would take forever to upgrade anyway. So this is why you can't really do entire cubes at once. And as you can see, even like with what little traffic is coming down that top lane is causing a bit of traffic here at the bottom, but it is more than moving the rest of this lane now, and it will probably clear itself out relatively decent here shortly. Yeah, so we're getting close to the back of the tailback, and that's going to keep things moving along. You betcha. So of course, the population keeps going up. We like we like it when it's going up all the time. But the power need keeps going up. That's why it keeps flickering back and forth and panicking all the time. Them building upgrades, of course, keep requiring more power. So I'm going to bring you back. And just squeaking over the line, we are at 70,146. Oh, man. 27 cubes. So, 3 more, well, let's say 2 full cubes, a cube that's like a 3/4 cube, and a mini cube. So, really, we kind of did like a 3, I'll say a 3 1/4 to almost 3.5 cubes on this one. It's a little tricky. The whole balance is a little tricky, right? Amazingly, the third mini cube of number 21 is totally dependent on the resources that were already there. Except I did give them a half of VR education to make sure that those kept that previous row of 21, 22, and 23, along with 16 and 17, ran no problem, and they are doing so. And that's exactly what we want. 24, 25, 26, 27 are all running on their own factories. So, of course, they have their own major highway, as you can see in front of them. And, of course, the next row is going to be 28, 29, 30, and then we got some half cubes that we're going to do. We'll call them mini cubes, I guess, is what we'll do with those. And that should make next episode pretty intense as well. It's intense. It's intense, period, people. It's all an intense time. I mean, you know, you look as far as the eye can see is what we have for cubes now, right? I mean, it is pretty cool looking. It is pretty cool. So with that, what are we doing on the next episode? Well, if I can get the screen to move, let's just say the lag is real. The lag is very real now. Looking in this direction, looking like this, I mean, is literally impossible, right? Next episode, what are we doing? More cubes. That's what we do. Yeah, that's a thing. So I guess we're gonna push these cubes probably to the limit. So we got 3 full cubes. We have 3 full cubes and 4 half cubes. So really, there's kind of I would call it like 5 cubes worth. We know that 5 cubes hold 2,600 population, and we'll probably squeeze a little bit more out of that with these ones. So that should definitely take us. That should definitely take us to like the 83,000 mark. Then it's just a question of what do I do now? You know. Again, I do have room for like a few mini cubes. It all depends on what happens. Like up here, I do need room for VR education. There isn't enough to do this entire thing, right? We've had to use some for row 24 to 27. So we need some more VR education. We have enough. Computer home appliance. I think I need 1 home robotics to make that work. And then it's literally just going to be a push to the end, right? Now, what is the end? The end is, well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, arbitrary numbers, whatever, right? It's gonna be a thing. Right now, of course, everything is pushed to 5.99, and I know, I mean, there's 9,000 people that want to move in like yesterday. Here is my .01 right here, by the way. There's 2 buildings right there, and they're not within a range of a park. So I may have to do a little bit of shuffling around with them, see if I can't get them fixed up a little bit. That's where my 599 is coming from. Is them 2 buildings right there. Everybody else is upgraded, and of course we're gonna push these ones, and then after that, like I said, we'll figure it out. I'm Max. This, of course, is InfraSpace Cubed. We have a lot of cubes. I mean, the map is getting pretty full. I mean, we're almost to the end of the map full of cubes. And then it's going to be just, I guess, squeeze in whatever we can until we run out of resources and the ability to do stuff. Again, VR is going to be the problem. So, if we can squeeze it, if we can fill it, if we can make something happen with it, we will do it. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.